Sports People Hawaii brought to you by Shopo, New City Nissan, and Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
Aloha everybody and welcome to a special edition of Sports People Hawaii. I'm Howard Deshevsky. A special edition because we're coming to you from the Strip at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Oh man, how's that for sheer power? You can feel that horsepower. Just kind of rattles your entire body. We're gonna have a lot more of that coming up, dragsters and funny cars in the next 30 minutes. Also some great stories, some local folks, a lot of folks from Hawaii who come up here to race and to experience what it's like. We're gonna hear from a guy, one of the world champion racers who spends a lot of time in the islands, plus one guy who grew up tinkering on cars in Kaka'ako. Now he works on some of the biggest, fastest engines in the world. It's all coming your way on the next Sports People Hawaii, but first, as always, we're gonna take it home. Another tip to help you get fit quick. Hey, welcome back everybody to Sports People Hawaii. Even though there's not a racetrack on Oahu anymore, a lot of people take racing very seriously, including a funny car driver, Ron Caps. He's a multi-world champion who races all over the world, but he wants to help bring racing back to the islands. Spends a lot of time in the Aloha State. At just 5 feet 8, 150 pounds, Ron Caps is anything but intimidating. But strap him into the cockpit of his Napa-sponsored funny car, and he becomes a giant among men. For people that don't get this, how many horsepower are we talking about?
10,000 horsepower. If you can imagine, each cylinder on my car makes more horsepower than a complete NASCAR engine. Just one cylinder, so over 10,000 horsepower.
The numbers are astonishing, and the sounds and the feel of the power these machines put out almost impossible to describe.
A lot of people think we're crazy at times, which we probably are, but it's an amazing, I grew up driving, I grew up as a crew member working on them, but then my first driving job was a dragster, so the engine was behind me. Now with the funny car, as you can see, I've got 10,000 horsepower right in front of me, and it's a completely different animal. It's got the fiberglass body on the front that goes over me. It's a ride and a half, I'll tell you that. When I hit the gas, it's 0 to 100 miles per hour in less than 1 second. It's amazing. It's more G-forces than anything on the planet but a fighter pilot. More G-forces than the space shuttle astronauts go through. And when you hit the parachutes, it's upwards of negative 8 or 9 Gs. So there's a lot going on. And there's loud, there's stuff flying around, it smells, there's so many little things that go on in 4 seconds or less. It's an amazing ride. Sometimes you get out of the car and you have to think about what just happened. It's like you sort of went through time travel.
As a premier driver on the NHRA circuit, Caps does a lot of traveling, hitting tracks all over the country. But the one place he loves coming to, perhaps more than anywhere else, Hawaii. A place he discovered thanks to his former crew chief and legendary Hawaii racer, Roland Leon.
The first time that I showed up in Hawaii to do my very first trip, I found out why he is such a legend in Hawaii, why he is so loved here in the States as a racer, a legendary racer.
Caps says the first time he set foot in the islands, he felt as if he were at home.
You hear about that feeling you get when you go to Hawaii, not as a tourist or visitor, because that's great, but when you feel like you're welcomed by family and they take you to places that they go eat and places that they only go hang out, that's when you know you've transferred over into that family part of Hawaii. And so now, I mean, every trip we make over there is so much fun.
But beyond the fun, he also has a mission in the islands to see racing return to its former glory.
My first time going to a drag strip in Hawaii was Maui, and they had Ron Caps Day. The last race of the year was November, and I couldn't believe the amount of people that showed up. That made me feel really good. But more importantly, every time I've gone to Hawaii, at the different drag strips, Hilo we've been to, is the amount of racers that are in Hawaii that still have their race cars that are nicer and faster than a lot of the cars we have out here. And I had more fun at those drag strips than I ever have out here, and that's why it's important that we're working to hopefully open another drag strip or get one started back up in Oahu, and I hope we can help with that. But it's needed to get those kids off the street, first of all. Yeah. But people don't realize how many racers are still in Hawaii.
In my generation, cars were a big deal. You know, a lot of people they didn't have concerts, they didn't have iPads, iPods, didn't have all that, okay? And we were car guys, you know what I mean? And like I say, guys asked me if I surf. I'm born and raised in Hawaii. I said, no, at the time you either surf or, you know, racing. I said, well, I race.
I think the biggest issue with racing in Hawaii and the kids is it's a means to keep them off the street and put them on the track. It's a way to make families stay involved because it's one of the sports that as a parent, you have to be involved. If your kids are doing junior dragster racing, the parents have to tow the car there, they have to have a truck to get there, so it really keeps them. There's a saying that says, get your kids addicted to racing and they won't get addicted to drugs and bad things like that.
And back to the track here in Las Vegas. Like every other stop, there's no guarantee you'll be racing for the championship come Sunday. No matter how many titles you've earned, you still need to qualify on Friday and Saturday.
There's added pressure, but I got a great group you see behind me. Race car's ready to run. There's 8 guys that have been working all night on it, and we're going to go up there and try to do our best.
And because these cars put out so much power, so much heat and energy, they pretty much destroy their engines. It often means turning over the entire engine in a matter of minutes. Daniel, you're a car guy back home, but yes, this stuff is just crazy, huh?
Oh yeah, I work on cars every day, but nothing like this. Like, I just do stock stuff, but seeing this, how they tear it down, and each one of them just tear the whole car down in seconds is just awesome. It takes me, like the guy said, it takes me 3 weeks to do an engine. These guys do it in less than 30 minutes. It's so awesome.
Like inches away, I can smell the fumes hurting the lungs, feel the heat from the motor. It's unbelievable. I'm a car mechanic, yep, so seeing these guys, it's like, they're top of the game. Like, I'm trying to get to that level.
That's what makes the sport great. The fans are all out there walking around, smelling the nitromethane, listening to the engines. It's a great sport.